All right, now I'm joined by the number one contender, without question. Many people believe champion in all fairness, but Dominick Reyes. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, Chael? How you doing today, man?
Man, will you give me a breakdown? Where do I want to start? Let's back up to Amanda's fight. Amanda versus Felicia. What do you make of Amanda? I mean, to call her the greatest of all time, is there simply anything else you could say for the women's division?
There's really nothing else to say. I mean, she's dismantling these women. It's almost not fair.
And what do you think's going to happen? I mean, the bantamweights were really on display, and I mean, Aljamain, who goes out, what an incredible performance. But then you got Cody, who's a former world champion, also incredible performance. Which one of those guys gets the nod if it had to be one?
Oh, it's got to be Aljo right now. He's on that winning streak right now. He just took out Sandhagen. He was looking like the next guy coming up, but he dispatched him pretty quickly. So I'm going to have to go with Aljo next on that title shot.
All right, buddy, enough small talk. Let's get down to you. What is going on at 205 pounds, man? It's hard to follow, and I'm not looking to bag on Jon Jones. I do enough of that over here. But it's very hard to discuss the division without bringing up what Jon's saying. I mean, he's saying everybody in the world except I want to fight Dominick Reyes. Why?
It was obvious, man. That last fight was a dog fight, man. And I really pushed. I took it to him. I pushed him to his limits. I pushed him somewhere he's never been. He's never been outstruck. He's never been hurt like that. He's never had an opponent that wasn't afraid of him at all. It was something that he's not willing to do he's not willing to lose his belt for less than whatever $1 million. You know what I'm saying? He knows that belt is close to being lost. So he's doing whatever he can to avoid fighting me again. He'll go to heavyweight. I'll take my first loss at heavyweight, are you guys happy now? You saw me get knocked out by Ngannou. I think that's kind of what he's thinking. Do everything he can to avoid that, to keep his legacy, to keep his belt, and possibly go up to heavyweight, maybe beat Francis, and then, okay, now I can make a run at the heavyweight title. I think that's what he's thinking.
Give me some inside scoop. They're not booking you. I see that you and Blachowicz, by example, aren't fighting. So am I right to assume that they are at least trying to put you and Jon together? You got any inside info there?
Yeah, they're trying to make that happen, man. Dana said it a few times, even himself. He said, Dom's on board, I'm on board, but Jon's not. It's the same stories. Like directly after the fight, we try to get it re-signed. Let's run this rematch. Well, it's hot and the people are excited about it. Let's make some money. Everybody wants to see that fight. Everybody wants to see the rematch. They don't want to see Jon fight Yan and all that. They want the rematch. Jon tried to sweeten the pot by throwing Francis out there for people to try to be like, oh yeah, I don't want to fight him again. Let's see me fight Francis. But yeah, the UFC's on board. I'm on board. It's Jon.
So where is he with his sincerity that he is willing to walk away from the belt as opposed to face you next? I mean, are those just things you throw out in the moment, or is that something that you got to look at? Do you hold out and assume they can bring him to the table? I mean, mindset-wise, where are you at on that?
Man, I'm in almost the same place you are, man. I don't really know exactly what's going on. I don't know his real intention. All I know is what I can control, man, and I'm training. I'm in a growing phase right now, which is really exciting. In between fights, and I'm growing, and I'm getting better, and it's just getting worse and worse the more time they wait to rebook me.
And Don, what is your patience level? I mean, let me just throw you a random scenario. Okay, we can't get Jon to the table. Your phone rings. Hey, we got somebody else for you in August. Do you say okay? Do you go find someone else? I'm waiting for Jon. Where are you at mentally?
Mentally, I'm in no rush. I'm looking to come back early fall anyway, early mid fall. So that's where I'm at. I'm not hurting or anything like that. I do want to fight again, but I want to fight for the title. I feel the belt should be mine anyway. It should be hanging right here right now, but instead I have a Nintendo sign. So, I'm just waiting.
Well, let's go back to that night. Speaking of the fight, I mean, one judge thought you won it. The crowd thought you won it. You and Jon probably didn't know. I mean, it was a very close fight. I'll share my perspective. I thought it was pretty clear. You won the first 3. He won the next 2. Is that how you see it?
That's exactly how I saw it. That's what I said in my post-fight interview. I said, I won the first 3. He got me the last 2, but I still won. 3-2 is 3-2, no matter how you slice it. But it is what it is. It was a great growing experience. It's my first time going 5 ever, so that's cool. I'm ready for whatever now. I mean, I'm a whole new animal.
In the world of MMA, Conor McGregor retired at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning through social media. I mean, it seemed a little bit bizarre and possibly insincere, but what was your reaction to that? Is he done? Is Conor done?
Conor's not done, man. It was another again. Like, come on,
silly.
Everybody's, the George situation, the Jon, Conor. Everybody's trying to get more money, and these already get paid a ridiculous amount of money. So it's like, all right, so fight me then. Come on, Jon. You want the money? Earn it. Let's go.
Hey, I'm with you on that. On some point, it's a competitor, though. I mean, do you want to compete for this thing? You got a world championship. I'd like to be world, At some point, we got to be able to default back to dreams. And the dreams didn't have anything to do with the money or the fame. It had to do with the accomplishment, right?
And that's what, I mean, I don't know. He doesn't, it's not about the accomplishment anymore for him, though. It's just about the money. 100% about the money. He's already accomplished everything in the sport, in his mind. I mean, kind of, to be honest, he's defended his belt I don't know how many times. He got busted and still came back off of that. You know what I mean? He's done what he had to do. I mean, the only thing left for him to do would be to fight a middleweight, which makes no sense, or go up and fight heavyweight. Or rematch me and get that little blemish off your record that everybody's constantly harassing him about.
Hey, I agree with you. And I tell you, I mean, just the fan in me comes out. That's the match to make. Without a question, that's the match to make. And frankly, and I don't think it's the intent of Jon, but the more he resists the match, in many ways, it's just the more we want to see the match. I mean, that's going to be a big fight. When that comes around, if that's on Fight Island, Apex, any way they want to do it, the world's going to stop what they're doing and watch.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, man. It's just getting this guy to freaking go along, man. I want to prove
that's always the tough part.
And let's do it again. I'm not scared to bleed. I'm not scared to lose. Let's go, man. I want to make this money too. I want to support my family and my people too. Let's go.
Dom, that's awesome, buddy. I appreciate the time. You got anything else you want to get off your chest? Hopes, goals, dreams, anything you want to share?
Man, I want to be the best in the world, man. I'm almost there.
All right, keep doing what you do. Thank you, Dom.
Appreciate it, Joe. Have a good one, man.
All right, guys. Dominick Reyes, #1 contender, and you got to think about what he said. He made one point there that I don't know I've ever been a fair analyst of, and the point was simply, what does motivate Jon Jones? And until Dom said it, I don't know that I ever spent any time reflecting on that. But when you do talk about from a competitive standpoint, Dom is very fair to point out Jon's been there and done that. There is nothing else to do. Once you're the world champion, there's no galaxy championship. There's no universe championship, right? I mean, he has done that. It's a little bit tough to try to put yourself in Jon's shoes and act as though what would you do when nobody's really in his shoes. And in all fairness to Jon, fair point by Dominick. What does motivate the guy? Okay, apparently it's money. But if you've already won everything there is to win, you don't have any higher crown that you can accomplish, maybe you do have to defer back to something else. And maybe that is what needs to be worked out. Either way, I'm with Dom on this one. I would like to see Reyes versus Jones Part 2.